What? No way, dude. No way. Are you kidding me? No way. That... How? I was not ready, dude. I swear I have not seen this. Alrighty, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Super excited about today's videos. Before we get into it, I do want to say if you would love to join these lovely people right here, I stream on Twitch at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's completely free to join. You can totally have some fun with us. And then your great comments will be immortalized in these videos. So come be part of the posse, all right? Everyone is here on their own will, by the way. Okay, so today we are going to be talking about a video. This was actually sent into me into my Discord, which again, if you haven't joined that, almost like we're like 14,000, over 14,000 people in there. So make sure you join. It's free again, link in the description. But this was sent into my Discord, and people wanted me to talk about this. Now, it was very interesting. The description of the video when they sent it in was so we're going to be talking about Beatrice Caruso, and what they said about this video was Beatrice Caruso's therapist prescribing her an ED to deal with her ED. Now, I haven't watched this video, so I don't really know what it's about, but I saw that description, and I was like, that sounds interesting. So we're going to go over this video. Again, like I said, I haven't watched it, so I don't know what it's going to be about. I have literally zero idea, so I'm going to this blind, so... let's see what it's about.
Oh, and welcome to my TED Talk. We are in the proper setting for a serious sit-down video, the car. We have cold brew in hand, and even though we're going to be sipping on some coffee, we are going to be spilling some tea. Some tea on therapy, if you will. And for those of you who...
Therapy, actually, is the correct term, but that's fine.
I think it's funny that I call my mental health updates tea. Oh, girl, there is tea. Now, I'm doing this as a standalone video instead of just sprinkling it into a random vlog because I'm going to be talking about some kind of more heavy topics, and if you're sensitive to that kind of thing, this is your warning. Okay, so let's get straight into the tea. I'm getting a new therapist.
Yeah, so I don't, again, like normally I would give some sort of like warning. I haven't seen this, but there might be, obviously there's going to be talks about maybe some ED stuff, so maybe be a little bit careful there, and then maybe just therapy in general, so.
Some of you in the comments might have seen this coming, but I don't think that you would ever have guessed why. So let me just kind of like recap my whole thing. I started out a weight loss journey. I have this binge eating disorder that's really just getting in the way of accomplishing any kind of weight loss, and I decided to start therapy. I was trying really hard to do the harm reduction strategy, which if you don't know what that is, that's you're still allowed to binge. You just binge less and then try to replace it slowly over time with other things, like healthy things to do instead of binge eat. So yeah, that's my whole shtick. So let me kind of go over my last session with my therapist and let you know what had happened and what she said that ultimately made me decide to quit seeing her. So
I've said this many times, and I will continue to say it because I think it's important. I think it's actually very important. And this isn't just something that is like just for Beatrice or just revolves around her. This is for literally anybody. But like, all of this stuff is incredibly difficult, right? Everything that she's explaining, going through all of that stuff is incredibly difficult. And having a platform where people follow you makes it thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands times more difficult. It just does, right? Like, I'm not at all comparing her to Amberlynn Reid, saying they're similar in any way, but Amberlynn Reid, I guarantee, or at least my opinion is that if she didn't have the social media following that she had, she wouldn't have as many struggles. Like, it would have been a lot easier for her to deal with things than having thousands and thousands and thousands of people's opinions and maybe even expectations of her, right, to deal with as well. Like, it makes it more difficult. It just does. And so, but I don't want to say makes it more difficult. It just exacerbates any problem. So if that's a positive, like for me, I would actually saying having a social media platform has made things for me, I don't want to say easier, but because I'm already a pretty determined and dedicated person in this thing, It's just made it more fun because I have more people to be accountable to, and I'm able to have so many people that it makes it easier for me to go into the gym and easier for me to do these things because I know I have so many people that are going to support me. But again, that it only flips on the opposite way. So if it's already difficult for you, you only feel worse because you have thousands of people that are looking up to you, right? So again, this isn't just something with B. This is like with literally any influencer that has a social media following because they've lost weight or they're trying to lose weight. This is just something you have to deal with. So it's important to just be aware. Okay? I know I've said it a million times, but it's important to me.
In the last session that I had with her, I was expressing that I was confused and I was feeling like I wasn't really getting anywhere. I was kind of like distressed, mostly for the fact that I had just binged right before the session. So I was like in that whole shame cloud. I don't know how to describe it. But I was expressing to her that I'm so confused. I don't think the harm reduction strategy is working for me. I feel like I keep trying to binge so I could practice the strategy in order to get better faster. Logically, I know that that's not how that works, right? And so I'm telling her I don't think my personality type is suited for this specific method. Is there anything else we can try? I want to get better, but I feel like I'm getting worse in a way. So I expressed that to her, and then she starts explaining to me that there's a couple of different methods. You can go the emotional route, find what's the root of the problem, address that, and then hopefully that resolves the binge eating problem, or the behavioral route where you're like trying to put habits in place like, okay, this is who I am now. I'm a person who doesn't binge, and you keep like reinforcing those habits. And then I told her I really don't know why I binge, because right now I feel bloated, I feel uncomfortable, I feel so sick, I don't feel good about myself at all. There's no reason for me to do it anymore. It's not even providing me that comfort. And that's when she said the thing. Now, first, I think it's very important to preface this. I Googled this woman when I first got matched to her. I made sure she was qualified. I made sure her licenses were up to date, stalked her LinkedIn. She has doctor before her name. I think if I'm remembering right, she has like a PhD or something. She teaches a class at a university. I was literally looking her up on Rate My Profession.
Bro, I am so stressed out right now. I have no idea what she's about to say. I'm glad I didn't watch this before, but geez, my anxiety.
Professor to see what like the students had to say about her. Positive stuff. I vetted this woman. I didn't let her just blindly therapize me.
I do think that that's good. Like, I think a lot of people, I don't know. I'm not a therapy major, but like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, therapist, everything they say is correct, right? They're people. So it's just like with anything. Be careful. Okay, I'm sorry.
The words that left her mouth were, why don't you try chewing your food and spitting it out?
What? No way, dude. No way. Are you kidding me? No way. That... How? I was not ready, dude. I swear I have not seen this. I've talked about this. I had a random dude at Best Buy give me that advice. A random dude at Best Buy gave me the same advice that a therapist did. I didn't realize I was speaking to a therapist in Best Buy. I didn't know. Oh my word. Okay.
Yikes. I paused for a second, and then I asked her, isn't that another eating disorder? Am I mistaken? And then she kind of did like this nervous laugh, right? The laugh that I do all the time when I'm filming. Literally that. And then she explains, oh, but you would still be eating. She says she doesn't want me to feel sick. She doesn't want me to feel the bloated feeling, the uncomfortable feeling, like the thing I was explaining about like the binging. And I just kind of sat there and I was like, is it an eating disorder? I don't really know. Therapy has me like 50 ways confused in the head. Just, I doubt myself all the time.
I want to say, first off, good on her for making this video, because it would have been very easy to just trust what this person was saying and went through with it. But oh my gosh, that is insane to me.
now. So I just let it go. And then I was like, no, I don't really want to do that. I think spit is really gross. Like spit really grosses me out. Plus it's like wasting food. And this is toward the end of our session. We talk about like setting goals for the next week. We wrap it up. We schedule another appointment. That's the end. Couple days pass. I keep thinking about what she said. That just doesn't seem right. I'm like, how is that a healthy relationship with food if you're chewing and spitting out your food? And then so I Google it. And lo and behold, there it is. It's like a thing. It's an eating disorder. It has a fucking acronym and everything. CHSP, I believe. There's people seeking help for this. You know, it's kind of like related to bulimia. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's basically bulimia, right? But you don't digest your food, right? Oh my God, dude. I don't even know what to say. This is crazy.
Sorry, but did you just tell someone with an eating disorder to do things that would give them another eating disorder? In what world is that good advice? The more and more I think about it, the more pissed I get. Because
I know you're struggling with BED, but have you ever considered just exercising a ton to combat the amount of food that you're eating? I know you struggle with BED, but have you ever considered consuming your food and then expelling it out of your mouth? Basically what she's saying, right? Oh my God.
I was kind of like having issues with this woman a little bit before. Like they weren't like serious. She would ask me like, why do you need to lose weight? And I would be like, well, because I'm physically uncomfortable. It's not comfortable to be the weight that I am at. My knees hurt. I'm not even comfortable like laying down. I don't want to breathe heavy when I'm walking up a staircase, and I don't want to eat to the point where I'm physically sick anymore. But anyway, my whole thing was like, I felt like she didn't believe me that those were the reasons that I actually wanted to.
Dude, I've always kind of had this suspicion and worry that a lot of people that are like this type of therapist, right, will almost discourage people from actually trying to lose weight that maybe one have to or really want to, right? Because they have their own agenda and they're like, I don't think people should be losing weight the way that they are or how they're actually losing weight. So I'm going to try and dissuade them from maybe doing that. But oh my God, never, ever thought they would say, hey, chew your food and then spit it out in a bucket. That'll be $1,000. Thank you very much. Oh my God.
To lose weight. Like, of course, I would love to look good, but I literally have no one to impress. And there's no reason that I would sit there and lie to you in therapy. Like, I'm here trying to be as honest as possible so we could get to the bottom of this in a timely fashion. Do you really think I want to like lie and keep spending money to not get better? No, like I'm telling you the truth, man. But she kept like pushing this narrative on me of like, I need to be like my true authentic self and wouldn't it be wonderful? And I'm like, I am my true authentic self and my true authentic self is uncomfortable all of the time. But I kept feeling like she was just.
So this is what's frustrating about when you hear stuff like this is that like people will assume that you want to lose weight because you are unhappy. And it's like, dude, that's so frustrating, man. Like maybe someone wants to lose weight because they feel like losing weight will put them in a better position. There's nothing wrong with that. And this is what I've talked about so many times. It feels like, again, if you want to be healthy at every size or you want to be that type, that's fine. I have literally zero issue with that. Do you? But when you start using those thoughts and trying to convince other people, especially when you have the power imbalance of being a therapist, trying to convince someone that they should feel that way when they don't feel that way, that's just wrong, man. Like, man, I wish I knew who this was. I just kind of do, but that's okay.
Just pushing this narrative on me that like it was bad to want to lose weight and that like those weren't my true intentions. And I was like doubting myself so much because like, okay, here I am. I'm the one going to therapy, right? I'm the one with the disorder. I'm the one trying to seek help. This is the person that's going to help me. So I'm like, okay, I'm the one with the disordered mind here. Maybe these aren't my true intentions, right? Maybe.
Oh, dude, this is just, this makes me feel so like, it's just crazy how you just got to be so careful. Like, therapy is great. I'm not saying you shouldn't do therapy at all. Please, for the love of God, don't think that I'm saying that. But it's like, it's just crazy how that power imbalance is so, it can get so gross and bad. I don't know a better word, toxic, I guess, so quickly, because you're like, this person knows what they're talking about. They are obviously in a healthy place because they're the one helping me. And then so what they say, I should, oh man, ooh, it gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Is my ego just getting in the way? Is it me just needing to be right? So I went along with it and I was like, okay, we'll try this. I'll stop trying to lose weight. I'll try my best. And then she tells me this bullshit and I'm just like, why did I ever doubt myself? Me being physically uncomfortable and not feeling good and wanting to be more athletic, wanting to be, I don't know, healthy, because I know that I'm not. I feel like that should be okay. I mean, it's one thing if you hate yourself and you take the opinions of others and you're like, oh, I want to lose weight so this person will like me. That's problematic. But I feel if you want to change yourself for yourself, you should be able to. I don't know, but I'll get off of that tangent. But right now, I'm just feeling very conflicted because I feel like I should probably like report this in some way, tell someone about this.
Definitely.
Because now I feel like I have an obligation to other people. Because
or just like post her at, somewhere. What?
What if she tells someone to do that?
I'm joking, okay? I'm joking.
And they actually do that. And it's coming from someone who should be trusted, someone with that doctor before their name. And it's really bad advice and I'm pretty pissed. So I don't know what to do about it. I requested another therapist. Luckily, BetterHelp makes it really easy. All you have to do is press that request a new therapist button if you're not vibing with yours or yours gives you really bad advice. Yeah, so super easy there. So I don't really have to worry about like trying to find a new one and like scrambling, it's gonna be taken care of for me. Yeah, it's just really disappointing. So I'm currently waiting for that to happen. That's where we are with all of that. But anyways, something good that whole experience happened with is I think that I'm starting to get negative emotions from binging. It's no longer bringing me comfort. If it's not helping me, then what's the point of it? So maybe now that I have negative feelings attached to it, because before I had like no shame whatsoever, no shame in my game about binging. It's just something I did to feel comfort, but now that it's not comforting, it might be easier to stop. I'm hoping. I just have to get rid of the habit now. I did think of another thing that I could try. It's kind of a little out there, but I'm actually really excited about it. So you guys know that I was like really interested in the brain and how it works and how we're wired and ways that we can manipulate it in order to get the results that we want. But I was thinking about this and I was like, what if we got my subconscious on board? Because I can't think of like the root problem to this because my conscious mind isn't really letting me in. I don't recall things, but the subconscious is supposed to pick up on, a lot of different things that you're not necessarily aware of. It compartmentalizes.
Man, I don't know where this is going, but let's just okay.
Things, it protects you, right? So then I started thinking to myself, well, what about like hypnosis? So I Googled hypnotherapy near me and I found this one lady.
What? Oh man, I don't know, man. I know I'm sure some people are like, I love hypnosis. I
signed up and I had a phone consultation with her. She was explaining it to me and she's like, it's not all woo-woo like how people think. It's not like a hypnosis entertainment show where you're gonna be like barking like a dog and doing a bunch of things that you don't want to do. She said that being in trance would be the same thing as like when you're driving somewhere you've been a million times and when your brain just kind of like checks out and then all of a sudden you're there and you're like, how did I get here? How did I get here safely? That's being in a state of trance. I was like, oh, okay, like that's not so bad. She's like, you're gonna still be aware, you're gonna be safe, and I'm really just a facilitator for you to kind of mull over and fix your own problems. We're gonna suggest things to your subconscious mind so you have those new pathways. And then what really makes me think that this was like for me, she starts going into like the science behind it and telling me about like the brain. She mentions the amygdala. Basically, how I went in that whole science spiel in my last talk sit down video? I'll link it up here if you're curious curious. I like basically nerded out about the autonomic nervous system and neuroplasticity and all of these things, and she mentioned them, and I was like, if this isn't kismet, I don't know what is. My first hypnotherapy session is on Tuesday. I'm actually pretty excited about it, and honestly nervous because I'm afraid what's gonna come up. I'm kind of afraid that like I have repressed something that has happened to me, and there's a reason for the way that I am.
Okay, so oh man, why? I wish I would have watched this before. So something about me, and it's been like this since I can remember. I am very skeptical of everything. And so when I hear stuff like this, my first reaction is just be like, I don't trust it. I don't know if it's from my past and like I've been taken advantage of before in the past, and so when someone comes up and says like I have this thing is gonna solve everything, I'm always like, is it? I don't know. I don't know enough about hypnosis or anything like that to be like that's a stupid idea or that's dangerous. All I'm gonna say is like if you watch this and you're like, hey, I want to try that, just do some research on your own maybe. That's all I'm going to say. Again, like I said, I am always very skeptical of anything like this. That's just how I am.
Am like so anxious, but at the same time I want to get better and I want to be healthy. So it's like I'm going to do whatever I have to do, and I'm not going to listen to any bullshit anymore. But anyways, you guys,
I mean, I don't know. Hypnosis. I don't. Okay, I'm sorry.
I will keep you updated on the hypnotherapy because it's honestly pretty interesting and I'm very excited to know what happens. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
All right. So, man, I know. I already know the comments. There's just gonna be an argument about hypnotherapy and whether or not it's good or not. I hope that this works, right? But again, like I will always say in my videos when it comes to weight loss, losing weight is simple. That doesn't mean that it's easy, but it is simple, right? Get in a caloric deficit. Now, again, that doesn't mean that it's easy. So, however you need to find that way, I mean, as long as it's not hurting you or anyone else, I think that that's fine. The struggle that I have is that it would be one thing if it was just a person doing this, right? That's completely different. But when it's someone that has a large following, like for me, it will always come down to, like, that video has over 100,000 views. It will always come down to, it's no longer just you, right? You have an obligation to the people that are following you to not lead them astray. And so I know it might seem like I'm being negative, but it's not like I'm just trying to be mean to some random person on the internet. It's because this person has a very large platform and they can use that to hurt or help other people, whether or not that's on purpose, okay? So it seems like I'm being negative, I'm not trying to be negative at her by any means. I just think it's important to understand the power you have in your platform, and to understand that you can hurt or you can harm or help someone very easily with the videos that you make, and people will 100% look to you for advice and they will trust what you have to say. So I'm not saying that you can't go about and be like, hey, I'm trying this out, but just be very careful with the way that you bring it up, and be very careful with the way that you share it with people. And maybe I'm like a freaking old man, grumpy gills kind of guy when it comes to that stuff, and I'm sure people will think that, but to me, I think having a platform is incredibly, it's very awesome. It's very cool. But it also comes with responsibility. You know, with great power comes great responsibility. I've said that before, and it's something that I believe very, very deeply. And it's something that, you know, I is a core of, I think, my channel and who I am. That's why I call the things out that I do. And that's why I make the videos that I do now. It's really, really important to me. But yeah. So that's what I have to say. Wow, what an emotional roller coaster. But this was a good time.